Hey friends, welcome back to my channel and welcome if you are new. It is so good to have you guys here. It means so much to me. This is Karen, my little buddy. She keeps hanging out at my feet, so I thought I'd give her a little snug because that's clearly what she wants. So today I am actually going to be going over with you my current chicken setup. We have had this one for probably maybe 8 months, and I'm really enjoying it. It was much larger before, but my girls, their routine is they're in this coop just overnight, and in the morning, while I do my morning running around stuff, and then in the afternoon, they come out and they get to free range all afternoon. So, and they have a 6-foot fence all the way around their yard. So 6 foot around, and then we have this set up, which I'll show you better in a second. And then they're locked inside their coop at night, and that gate over there is put up. So no raccoons or any other critters can get to them. So let me take you over and I'll show you the pen. So this is what their area looks like. You can kind of see we had it come out here and back down. So it was a huge area. However, as most of you know, if you have chickens, they want to be with you all the time. So of course this pen that we have here is awesome, and it's entirely necessary in my opinion, because it allows me to let them out of their coop and they still have that area to roam and play and dig and do all the chicken things without being in the actual yard constantly. Because what they'll do is they'll come up to my back door and they just stare at us. So we encourage them to free range in the yard in the afternoon, and myself or my littles or someone's usually out back, so I don't worry so much about the predators or anything. I also live in a neighborhood, and like I said, they have a 6-foot fence that goes all the way around our yard. I don't worry or stress as much as I would in other environments. But this is what I have. I did the 4-foot posts. I originally thought I was gonna do 5, but I've had no issues at all, except my Orpington recently got out, but that was only because she was due for a wing clipping. So no big deal, because like I said, 6-foot fence all around the perimeter of the yard. So this is their little area, which is really not little at all. It's plenty big enough for them. And a huge thing that I tell people all the time: if you're gonna get chickens, make sure you get the railroad ties and put them in the inside, because that is a huge help. I got these, which are sold right by the railroad tie. I think they're called railroad tie nails. And what you want to do is just drill your hole out before you put those in, otherwise your rails will split. But I have those going all the way around. I think I put 2 on each. And then for the door, we have hammered into the ground so that the feet of our fence, which I will show you, let me flip you guys around. Let me show you how this fence goes in. Okay, I hope this angle is okay. You might not be able to see me, but you can see what's going on here. All right, so our gate for them goes on the inside, and then you can see we just secured this in between these two and stapled it all the way around. And then the feet, we put, these are just stair rails, is that what they're called? Patio rails, one or the other, but they're angled. So we just put a little bit of electrical tape on the bottom. It helps keep it snug in those pipes, the PVC pipes. So all we do is slide this right into here. Of course, I'm usually on the outside, so I'm not used to putting it in this way, but it works awesome. And then these posts are behind these, so it helps support it. And then we have this twisty, which is awesome if we just want a little extra security, but honestly, it's not necessary. And it's super easy, so we love that for us. In their run area is this little toy, and they actually do play with it all the time. It is so adorable. I have their tire full of sand and diatomaceous earth. It is food grade. It is so important that you make sure if you're doing diatomaceous earth, which I do in my coop, in their feed, and in their dust baths, it has to be food grade. And love it. I've never had an issue with it. I know it can be super scary, but just make sure you're using food grade. I have that little stump that I found. I just thought it'd be great for myself or anybody who wants to go in and hang out with the chickens. They can just pop on down there. I have a seat. I made this little perch thing. It's not ideal for their feet, but they have so much fun on it and they play on it all the time. So we let that just hang out in here. What we did with this coop, which we got right before the winter time, we bought 1/4-inch plyboard, screws and washers and nuts, so that we could wrap this in Tyvek so that it is water resistant. This is something that you can always find. We actually found a ton of scrap of this when someone was working on their house in our section. So we just waited, and they actually put it out for trash. So we snatched that right up because that is such a great staple to have. So that fits right in there. And then the screws go right through so that it is tight and it's secure and waterproof. So that helps with stopping the airflow from going right into their coop. So I love that because it blocks it from the sun and the different elements. So I'm actually thinking I'm going to keep this up year round because it just provides a nice bit of shade on this side of the coop for them to get out of the sun. I switched my feeder out to this one because it fits underneath the coop, and we had some cold days, so I wasn't sure if they were going to come out or not, so I switched their food feeder. And a lot of people have an issue with this coop underneath, making sure it's clean and everything. It does look kind of messy right now, but it's clean for chickens, you know what I mean? So I just take this out, and I have a rake, a small rake, and I can pull all that over here, no problem. So I can definitely do a video on like a chicken routine that I do with them weekly or daily. If you're interested in that, let me know. I'm happy to do it. What else did I change in this coop? Okay, this I need help with. So I have this I have this nesting box over here. It's awesome. Love it. I did change this. So let me take it out. Maybe. There we go. Sorry. Well, please hold. Come on. Sorry, it's so hard doing things one-handed. Okay, so let me show you what I did. So when you get this coop, it comes with this little skinny bar for them to perch on. And of course, Mayan would not go near it because they had no interest in that little skinny bar. So I just simply attached this piece that I had laying around. Again, always at my feet. Hello, do you want to say hi to our friends? Hello, friends. They're so happy. I freaking love these birds. All right, so I just attached a scrap piece of wood, and this works out great because they have no issues putting their feet here, and their toes curl over just a tiny bit, but the feathers wrap around them so their feet don't get cold. And that's what you worry about with these skinny little bars. So think about it. If they're perched on it, their feet are then wrapped around, and the bottom of their toes can get frostbitten in the really cold. If you live somewhere where it's super, super cold, so they have a really hard time keeping those toes warm if they're curled all the way around a perch and they're sitting on top, obviously. So when they have a flat surface, they can just keep those feet right underneath them and warm. So I switched that out. I'm so glad I did. They have really been loving it. So super easy, just pop it back in. There's these little tongue and groove thing, a little catch for that, and it's great. Works out awesome. Okay, so something I am trying to figure out is I have this piece that came with it, right? I was thinking I could just get a bigger piece and have it come out to like here. It'll overlap some, and it would prevent water from getting in, because what's happening is it's running down here and into my nesting box, right? So in here, it gets wet here all the time. And of course, this is the one they want to lay their eggs in all the time. So I am trying to figure out what I could buy or make to stop that from leaking. I went to Home Depot and Lowe's and could not find a piece like this. I'm kind of thinking it's like the plastic from, like if you go into a freezer section and stuff, like if I can find a piece of that type of plastic, I think I could just cut it to where, it's longer, and it would prevent water from getting in. But if you have another idea, please let me know, because that's absolutely an issue that I need to remedy before the box starts, breaking down. The other thing I am looking for is, I want to put vinyl on the bottom of these, because that's metal. So everything slides off real easy, but this is just wood, and I really want to preserve the wood as long as possible. So I'm thinking if I do like the sticky tiles on the bottom of this, it'll be so much easier to clean, and it'll help with any water damage that could happen. So that's another thing I've been looking for, but can't really buy them individually, and I'm not buying a whole box of them for 3 nesting boxes. So if you know where I could get them, or any other ideas, please let me know. I love this platform for sharing with others and getting ideas from others. So any ideas are greatly appreciated. But that is the current setup. This water, holy grail, okay? You have to plug it in, but you never have to worry about your water freezing, ever, because it's electric. So the plug is there. Make sure you have a ground or an outdoor safe electrical cord. I always tie it so that it can't be pulled apart by accident. And I check their water every morning when I open up their coop, just to make sure that it didn't freeze, but it has never frozen. And this lasts probably a week with 3 of them. So it's perfect. It's definitely my favorite purchase to date. Highly recommend. I think it was like $50 or $60 at Tractor Supply. Totally worth it. And there is a water system that I want to make And now I'm even debating, do I want to do that or do I just want to keep doing this? Now I will say with this one, it is the scariest thing I do all week is to flip this freaking thing over and hope that the bottom doesn't come off. Because it has many times, and then this whole thing pours all over my kitchen, or I've gotten smart and now I take it outside before I flip it. But this system is super smooth and will turn right out of it. So just beware of that. That is a huge reason why I will most likely switch in the warmer months, but for the winter, 100% we'll always have this plugged in and in use because I don't worry about them not having enough water. So definitely recommend that. Over here, I have a tire that is used for their dust baths. And typically I have a piece of plastic that I put over top. It's like a harder plastic so that that stays dry. It's blew off and that system is no longer working. So have to address that issue. It just has play sand in it, diatomaceous earth, and some different herbs that a friend of mine had actually given me to put in there, but definitely not necessary, and I wouldn't repurchase because it's just not necessary. You don't have to do all that. But that is their current setup. If you guys want like I said, a routine, a daily routine, a weekly routine that I have for my chickens, just so you guys can get an idea of like what it really takes to own chickens, let me know. Subscribe and like this video, and then just comment below so that I know that that's the type of video you want to see, or if you have questions or video ideas, definitely drop them in the comments. I always read them, and I'm excited for our next video. So subscribe, drop a heart below, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye, friends.